When it comes to buying and selling livestock, trust is everything. At Hired Hand Live, we have a platform that breeders and buyers rely on, whether participating in a live auction, an internet-only event, or hosting their own online auction. Our secure, user-friendly system ensures that your bid counts, and every transaction is backed by our commitment to integrity.
Whether you're a part of a consignment sale or planning your own internet auction, Hired Hand Live connects breeders and buyers live and online. Discover why breeders trust us with their livestock auctions. Visit hiredhandlive.com today. Hi there, I'm Molly.
And I'm Jaymie, and this is our From the Pasture with Hired Hand podcast.
For 15 years now, we've been proudly helping breeders promote hundreds of thousands of pedigree livestock with our easy-to-use animal management-driven website software.
And let's not forget about Hired Hand Live, where over $1 million worth of livestock is sold online each year.
We're excited to bring you market trends, sales data, advice from your fellow breeders, and stories from the ranch.
Our software makes managing your website and your animals a breeze, so you can focus on what you love.
So let us handle your digital chores while you tune in to another episode of From the Pasture with Hired Hand.
Today we're talking about the upcoming Cherry Blossom Sale. Our guests and sale hosts Chase Vasut and Shawn Pequignot will give us an inside look at the cattle and other details for the weekend. Be sure to visit hiredhandlive.com, where you can view all the consignments, get detailed information, and place your bids. You can also check out the consignor websites powered by Hired Hand software to learn more about their programs. If you're excited to hear about the standout Longhorns heading to the sale ring, stay tuned. We've got the full rundown. Well, hey, Shawn and Chase, thanks for joining us.
What's up? Thank you for having us.
Good morning.
Can you guys take a little bit and introduce yourselves?
I'm Shawn Pequignot, farm manager for G&G Longhorns and helping out with the sale.
Chase Vasut with the Longhorn Legacy Group, and kind of same thing, do a lot of pedigree reading, and between this and the Fall Classic are two sales that Shawn, Ann, and I do together.
Shawn, it was last week, I believe it was last week, I was talking to Bill Hudson, and he had said, I think it was the first bull he ever purchased was from you.
Yeah, J.M. Sue, back in like 01.
Yeah, that shows people, I guess, how long you've been involved with Longhorns. So this isn't something new to you in the last couple of years. You've been involved for many years.
Next year will be 30 years that we've had Longhorns, Seasons and I.
Wow, that's like older than Chase.
Almost. Seasons is all 28.
It's true.
Okay, so let's talk about the Cherry Blossom Sale. Can one of you give the history of the Cherry Blossom Sale, why it got started, and how this one is maybe different from the Fall Classic?
You know what? And every time we talk about this, we have notes, and then we forget our notes. But I think Shawn and I were talking to Ann, and this started way back. Was it the Babington Gravett sales, Shawn?
And Leonard.
And Leonard came in. Yeah, but this is, I think, is the longest running sale on the East Coast. Now, it's been under a few different ownerships. The TLMA had it for a while, TLCA, the Legacy Group, and now it's back with G&G Longhorns where we think it belongs. But, gosh, I think that was like in the 90s. The sale started there. You know, it's just been a good time. It went from just a farm day with a few heifers to now a really, really fun sale and a huge futurity, which I'm sure we'll dive into. Again, the only rule when Ann's involved is something is if you're not going to have fun, don't show up. So that's how we like to operate.
Yeah, I remember years ago when we got started, they had trailers set up in the front parking lot with Boomerang CP and Whelming King there on display. So this has been going on for a long time.
Have you been to, I guess, what was the first one that you went to? Do you remember the year?
Probably would have been 99. It was right before the Millennium Futurity started. So it'd been 98 or 99. That was the first one.
Do you think you've been to everyone since then?
Yes, it was family vacation.
Nice. All right. So let's talk about the sale this year. What happens on Thursday?
Real quick, the first annual Babington Gravett sale was May 16th on 1992. So that's 31 years it's been going. So, sorry. Cattle arrive all day Thursday, 8 to 5. Futurity cattle, sale cattle, same sale barn at Culpeper Sale Barn in Culpeper, Virginia. Shawn, what do we have Friday?
Well, Friday is the futurity will start at 11. Some late cattle will come in the morning, but the futurity starts at 11. And then once that wraps up, then we have the party at Ann's house at 6:00.
How many entries do you have this year for the
We have
futurity?
143.
And is that the most that you've had? Because
I think that is the largest by 3 that we've had. Last year we had 140.
And who do you have for the judges this year?
Nick Nicodeme, Savannah Smith, Carol Powell, Jay Wachter, and Steve Anderson. That's our 5 judges.
Okay. And if I remember right from past years, you always give out pretty unique awards at the futurities on the East Coast, like with Ann. What will you be giving out this year for the awards?
With this year, we've got buckles and checks, but as far as the unique part, we had 2 High Point heifer sponsors. So we're going to do a High Point heifer for class 1 to 5 and a High Point heifer from class 6 to 10. That way the young heifers have a chance.
Yeah, that was Matt Bourbon and Don Ryder Carter who stepped up and did that.
Correct.
Everybody says, you get to these big classes, and once they get a little older, the young ones don't have a shot. I mean, we've seen a lot of young ones win, but this kind of makes it a little more unique. I don't think there's any futurity that pays out 2 high points, so that'll be fun.
Are there other sponsors from the futurity that you want to talk about?
Yeah, we had a lot of sponsors again this year, which we're thankful for to make the payouts as big as we can. But the class sponsors that we have are John and Natalie Cheney, David and Retta Henry, Harrison Yeager, Travis and Shauna Johnson, Terry and Tammy King, Rick Kramer with Kreider Farms, Ricky McLeod, Daniel Putt, Michael Reinhart, the Brightman family at RTG, John and Christine Talley, and Kathy Winkler. She's an artist that paints Longhorns locally here. They were all our class sponsors. And then our regular sponsors, we had Linwood Arrington, Caitlin Blackwell, Steve Davis, Nancy Dunn, Kendall Morris, and John and Christy Randolph. And then like Chase said, for our High Point sponsors, we had Matt Bourbon and Dawn Ryder Carter. So we got a big list of them again.
And we'll get to see all of the class winners and the class sponsors at Ann's house for the party and the awards at 6:00 on Friday. So let's move on to Saturday with the sale that it starts at 11 a.m.
Correct.
Right?
Yep. 11 o'clock on Saturday. Kind of perfect timing. The weather should be great there. Got a good little group of sale animals. Every couple of years, it seems like every other year, Cherry Blossom falls on Easter weekend. This is one of them, but like Shawn said, it's kind of a family vacation. So, knowing that and kind of seeing the amount of cattle been selling, we wanted to keep our numbers pretty reasonable because the futurity is so large. So I think we got a great lineup of cattle selling Saturday, a few scratches and a few subs that are coming in daily, but we're really excited about the quality this year.
And Shawn, you're the go-to for cattle handling in the back.
Correct. We'll be handling them again with the normal crew that we have.
Do you know of anybody who has said ahead of time that they're willing to haul?
Nick Nicodeme will be hauling back to Oklahoma area, and we got 2 guys headed back Tennessee way for sure. And then there are 1 or 2 trailers coming from Texas.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as always, Marty Robeson, Dylan, if he has room. I know they got a lot of futurities. Dan Grove, Jay Wachter. So I tell you, since May of 91 or whenever this thing started, there's not been a cow left at the barn. So we can get your cattle to you.
So we talked about futurity sponsors. How about sale sponsors?
Yeah, and as Shawn mentioned, a lot of people stepped up this year. I think per consignment, per entry, this might have the highest capita of sponsors, just because the locals and now even outside of that area want to be a part of it and help support. So we had Guy and Charlotte Cody, Lloyd Edge, Mark and Misty Flincham, Ricky and Sandra McLeod, Kim and Nick Nicodeme, Mike and Callie Smith, Ryan and Brandy Schmidt, John and Christine Talley, and then Jay and Susie Wachter were our sales sponsors this year.
Looks like Culpeper might be new this year.
They are.
Is this their first time?
They are. We have a list. Jimmy Jones has what he calls the liar list of people who say they're going to come visit and don't. I think he actually has his attorney send it over when you get removed. So we have kind of a similar thing. Everybody's like, oh, we'd love to come to Virginia. And it's fun to see them finally come out. They've done some fall classic stuff, but I think this is their first cherry blossom. So the enthusiasm to bring along is amazing.
So this is their first time to the cherry blossom. Is it this year the first time for anyone else to consign to the cherry blossom?
Mac and Andrea Siller are coming for the first time, but they're entered into Futurity, not necessarily for the sale end of it.
Yeah, I think the majority, they've all consigned before. Lloyd Esch, he does the Fall Classic. It's been a while since he's been back. Yeah, pretty consistent looking at the consigners. I don't think there's anybody new.
No, Greg Cott usually only participates in the Futurity, and he's got one in the sale this year.
Yep.
Well, while we're talking about consignments, I know you said there's a couple scratches. Do you know what lot those are?
Our scratches this year that we know of now. Now, again, we're filming this.
Yeah, we've only got the one, right?
I think it's just lot 24, right?
Yeah, yeah.
H.L. Graceland is a scratch. I think that's it.
And then there's a couple subs?
2 subs. We've got lot 1, Jay subbing, and Nick Nicodeme subbing.
Chase, do you want to talk about the subs for lot 1 and lot 22?
Yeah. Lot 1. I mean, Jay's been selling those embryos. They do really good, but sometimes stuff just doesn't work out. So the one that he put in is a really nice heifer. She looks red, but she's not. Got all kinds of coloring. It's a Hubble's Mystic Warrior. You got Sunhaven Top Notch on it. So I think she's built really, really well. And with Jay, she's been AI'd to MC Hanging Tough. Her sister last year won the Fall Classic and sold for $20,000. So she's a pretty big time heifer. Jay's not new to the game. He knows when you sub, you need to step up. And then it was 22, you say, right?
Yep. Nicodemus.
That's Last Mango in Paris. Yeah, so now it's Orchids and Pearls. She's Hubble's Boss Hog, Casanova's Buttercup. She's 59 inches, and she has a bull calf by Bob Lee, who's a Rosemary son. I think they've cornered the market in Oklahoma on that Grulia coloring, and she's a real pretty one as well. But the bull calf inside is something special.
And now let's hear from our advertisers.
Do you sometimes feel like you're the only one who doesn't have it all figured out? Rural life can be isolating, but it doesn't have to be.
Welcome to Ag's Most Okayest Farm Girls, the podcast for women who are craving connection, laughter, solidarity, camaraderie, and just overall encouragement in your everyday life and dreams.
Each week, your hosts, Annalise, that's me, and Courtney will cover topics such as farm life, mom life, making money online, side hustles, hobbies, sharing on social media, jobs off the farm, and so much more.
Us rural gals need to stick together, so saddle up for some fun, real, and unsolicited advice and stories from our everyday farm lives.
Grab a drink, we're Ag's Most Okayest Farm Girls, and we're here to help. Listen wherever you find podcasts.
Are you a new Longhorn breeder eager to educate yourself on market trends and sale prices? Stay in the loop with our text messages. Get the latest updates, events, and insider tips on all things Longhorns delivered straight to your phone.
Stay informed by texting website to 888-700-8131, then reply with Longhorns. That's website to 888-700-8131. Sign up today and take your breeding program to the next level.
From the Pasture by Hired Hand is presented by R3 Hilltop Ranch. Located in Chilton, Texas, R3 Hilltop Ranch has been breeding registered Texas Longhorns since 2006. What began as 3 heifers has grown into our current herd, which you can explore on our website at r3hilltop.com. We're passionate about loud colors, longhorns, and docile temperaments, but it's the easy-keeping, low-maintenance traits of Texas Longhorns that initially attracted us and continue to drive our herd growth. In addition to livestock, we proudly offer certified Longhorn beef products. Visit r3hilltop.com/beef to learn more. Thank you for listening and enjoy exploring our ranch online at r3hilltop.com.
Are you ready for catalog roulette?
Bring it on.
Sure.
All right. Let's start with lot 2. River Forks O'Deer.
Okay, River Forks O'Deer comes from, that's Terry and Tammy King's breeding, and they're actually the actual consigners of her. Terry contacted me early on and wanted to support us with some good cattle that people are sought after a bunch. And this one comes exposed to box office from February to the sale date. So she's got good calf in her belly and a good pedigree to match. Beautiful brindle coloring.
Next one we'll stop on is lot 8 from Tally Longhorns, TT Lucky Lady.
Yeah, and again, Tally, one of our longtime supporters. What's cool about her, she's a Dun Got Double Lucky daughter. So that gives you Delta Lucky Ace. You know, he was the ultimate bull. Dun Lucky Dice, who sold for $200,000. And I think she's like 104 inches now on top. You know, then on the bottom, all around cowboy checks, you got Seal Tigress. So some of Ann's breeding there. Big, well-built cow, and she's going to come in great shape from the Tallies. And then she's bred to Apollo, who's been just a phenomenal producer. I know he's the sire to Cactus Jack, who won the trailers, Ultimate Bull twice, and then Midas Touch, who I think he's one of the youngest bulls to hit 100 inches in our breed. So big, well-built, speckled up brindle cow from the Tallies, and I think that Apollo calf inside of her is going to be a really cool one.
All right, I'll scroll a little bit farther. Let's do lot 12 from Chaos Cattle Company, KCCI Jessie.
Yeah, she's a Brazos Julio daughter. There again, Ken always supports us, Ken and Jessica. And now he's got Kendall on the team, more or less running things for him, I believe. And they stepped up with just another great heifer that they brought us out of the RR Miss Jitter cow, goes back to ground zero. And then she's also exposed to KCCI Hanging On To You. So that's just another one that Ken just stepped up and brought us a real pretty, beautiful young heifer.
Yeah, and you throw it in. I mean, the bull she's bred to is a son of Hanging On To You. He was 94 inches before 4, but the Brazos Julio goes back to Alfie. It's a really, really cool pedigree.
The next one we'll land on is lot 16 from Texas, FHR Longhorns with Dale Met. And her name is FHR 20G's Not the Last Call.
Our old buddy Dale Metz, he's making a comeback. I think he kind of took a year off last year, kind of getting his program together, working on his golf glove business. But this is a nice young heifer. Hubble's 20 gauge. I mean, he's set the world on fire. Daughter's winning Futurities, topping sales. And out of a really cool cow named DH Last Call. I don't have it in front of me. I know she was a cash cow when she sold, but you got 8 seconds checks going back to the Mizzou lines of Loomis. So a lot of twist here and a lot of color. Now she's going to have a lot more brindle than this photo shows. And then Dale's had her out with Bodacious. That's Jimmy Jones breeding. So she's a cool little 20 gauge daughter throwing in, Midnight Rose, all that.
Well, you were mentioning a lot of DH cows, so we'll skip down to lot 23 to DH Rowdy's Catch It from Guy and Charlotte Cody at Cody Cattle Company.
Yeah, she's a Rowdy daughter. Charlotte was texting me earlier on, and when she put this in, now she regrets putting it in. She just was wishing that this was one she would have kept, but they're the ones that we like to have in the sale. And she's exposed to capital gain, very easy to work and gentle. She has a great udder. This is just one of those ones that's hard to let go, but we're happy to see in the sale for somebody to step up and get them a good heifer.
The next one we'll stop on is lot 27 from more longtime supporters, Rocky Meadow Longhorns, Ryan and Brandy Schmidt. The animal they brought, her name is Once Upon a Time.
Yep. Beautiful heifer out of Snipe. So cool part about her sire is that Sniper. I'm just trying to think. We just sold a granddaughter Sniper at the Texas Treasure Sale, I think or it was a bull, and he brought like 11,000 grandson. But he's Sniper, one of the big horn black and white bulls, and Wiregrass Magnolia, which she should be across 100 now, right, Shawn?
98. She's getting there.
Getting close. And then on the bottom, Time Goes By. You got Nancy Dunn breeding, Siesta Time. Cool part, she's bred to PCC Night Force. That's his up-and-coming young sire out of Dark Night. So you mix this cool brindle coloring that she has with that dark Grulia out of Night Force, you could get some pretty wild coloring. But a nice, cool heifer is going to have a lot of twist.
Now we'll jump down to Alabama. We'll go with Rolling D Ranch, Nancy Dunn, lot 33, Dunn Destiny.
Yeah, she's another Rowdy daughter that Nancy put in, exposed to the Hubble's Buckshot Bull. Just a huge horn brindle cow. And, anytime Nancy puts a cow into the sale, it brings a lot of attention. And this one isn't any different. She's got a lot of cool brindle coloring and a ton of horn, and goes back into swagger and 50-50. She measures over 80 inches already and has way more total horn than that. She's negative for brucellosis and Johne's and BVD. This is going to be one that's going to be fun to watch, and just going to be one that's going to top the sale maybe.
Cool part about her too, I think 2 or 3 years ago, we sold her mother, Dun Sachet, at the Legacy sale. Shawn and Haley Loftus bought her. I think it was for $43,000. But she looks just like her mama. Mom's over 90, and these horns rolling, twisting out. It's a heck of a consignment from Nancy.
Let's do lot 39 from M&M Cattle Company, Mark Flincham. Her name is M.M. Maxim. Lovin' is easy.
Yep. Beautiful brindle. Again, coming from Mark. He fills you up with everything you need to know. He's been doing this for a long, long time. She's going back to Bubba Tough Checks. That gives you Rio Gizzies. So you got Tough, Loomis breeding on the top. On the bottom, MM Lovin' is Tough. That gives you Lovin' Van Horn, bringing the Van Horn ladies. He's pretty tough, so just consistent breeding. So now you look at, she's got a heifer calf at side by Hanging On To You. That's the 94-inch 4-year-old. Could be crossing 100 soon. And then exposed back for a possible 3-1. So I'd like to think she will be at that point. But the bull she's bred back to is the Prophet out of Southern Diane, who's almost 100-inch twisty horn cow too. So real consistent. She's going to have a lot of twists as well.
Now let's talk about a consignment from the Carolina Cartel, lot 42, to a Catch You Later.
Aaron Atkins just brought her up, or is bringing her up. She's another one of the Cowboy Catch It Checks daughters that's just done so well for them. And out of a Gunsmoke daughter and Jay Walker's big, huge Royal Class gal that has passed away, Sunhaven Gaelics. And she just got the beautiful brindle color. He's keeping 2. Aaron's actually keeping 2 of her heifers. That's the only reason that we could get her up here. She's bred back to his Wheels Up son, Beam Me Up Scotty, who's out of Wheels Up and Dun Lucky Penny. It's a really pretty cow.
And the last one we'll stop on is lot 46, last but not least in the sale. She comes from Jeff Hedge at Lang J Land and Cattle. Her name is L.J. Tufts Sugar Rose.
Yep. Beautiful young calf. I mean, she's not calf, is whatever. She's not going to be 3 until May. But a tough it out daughter that gives you Cowboy Tough Checks and Winning Smile. Her granddad sold for $165,000. Cool part here is it's a little bit of line breeding. So her mom's a Zeus daughter. Zeus was a full sibling to BL Rio Catch It. So you're throwing in Tough once, you're throwing in Rio Catch It twice. And you got the great Bowman's breeding. Now she's bred Del Fago's Shadow. That's a really cool bull who's going to add some more size and structure to her. And she's 69 inches of total horn, which is a lot. The bull she's bred to measured 72 and a half, is just a 2-year-old. So I love these younger total horn heifers because it's so cool to see them go up and roll out. Bred to a heck of a bull. So it's a great way to round out the sale.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Looking for top quality Longhorns and a taste of true Texas spirit? Look no further than Cantera Cattle Company. Our passion for Longhorns shines at Old Gringo Ranch, where tradition meets excellence. Visit us online at CanteraCattleCompany.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for the latest updates and ranch life fun. Ready to experience it yourself? Schedule your visit by emailing canteracattle@gmail.com. Remember, God is great, Longhorns are good, and life is crazy.
Overwhelmed with your digital chores? Let us lend a hand. From websites and animal management to internet auctions, graphic design, marketing, search engine optimization, and more, Hired Hand Software is your hired hand for all things digital.
Specializing in pedigree, livestock breeds, and beyond, we handle the tech so you can focus on the animals you love. Visit hiredhandsoftware.com today, where your digital chores just got a whole lot easier.
Hey, if you love From the Pasture with Hired Hand, why not go check out my podcast, The Big Iron Podcast with Andrew Shigori, where we dive into the world of registered Texas Longhorns and what it means to be an agriculture entrepreneur in the modern world, with a little southern flair, of course. Find The Big Iron Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
So that is everything that happens on Saturday. How about on Sunday? What time does everybody need to have their cows out?
6 a.m. As long as they're out by noon on Sunday, we'll be good. And if there's any other arrangements that need made, we'll accommodate them. I just need to know about it ahead of time.
Okay, well, the last little thing I have, it's Fast Five. So I'm going to say a characteristic of an animal, and you say the animal's name.
In the sale?
There we go. Yes, please, in the sale.
Yeah,
not in your field, Chase.
No, yeah, in the sale. Okay, so the first characteristic is black and white.
Rodeo cowgirl.
Yep. Nicotine consignment.
What lot is she?
Lot 7. She's a runaway gray daughter, so she's going to throw some cool color too.
Okay, the next one is Twist.
Yeah, I like lot 15 that Mark Flincham put in, Lady Prophet on Safari. She's a prophet daughter. He just made a post about her, and she's got some really cool backwards twists going. She just turned 4.
Right, the next one, an animal that is red and white.
At least you didn't say true black this time. What about Ricky McLeod's? I mean, red, orange, and white, that lot 30, HBR LC Butte. I don't think you could paint one any prettier than her. That's a front and center daughter out of Casanova Rose. She's gorgeous.
Okay, the next is Brindle.
One of Aaron Atkins, lot 19, 2A Cowgirl's Dream. Young Brindle, another Catchett daughter, Cowboy Catchett Check's daughter.
And the last of the Fast Five, Chase, your favorite, True Black.
Okay. Well, we never figured out if Grulia is really true black or not. I think it is. And if it is, if not, I don't know. Lot 3, the 4C Knight's Hope, PCC Dark Knight, RM Edge of Hope that Culpeper put in. Maybe Shawn knows a little bit more about color than we do, but that's a beautiful young calf, and those Dark Knight daughters are hard to come by. So if she doesn't qualify, Shawn, do you know another one that's a true black?
Lot 38 from Hank Helsley, Rustic Copper Hill's pretty black.
But is she a true black? That's what we don't know.
That's always up for a Facebook argument.
I think somebody told me this weekend, if they're born black, then they're a true black. But every time I think I know what I've narrowed down what it is, I'm wrong. But yeah, that sniper daughter is gorgeous.
Maybe Joe can give us a rundown of what a true black cow is this year at the Cherry Blossom Sale. That way we can all get it figured out.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's a great lineup. We've got some really cool cattle that can do a lot for herds across the country. You know, with 46 head, we got one scratch. It's, not going to be a long sale, which is great on Easter weekend. People have time to hit the road, get home, and have a good time.
Well, thanks for joining us. Make sure to check out the Cherry Blossom Sale consignments ahead of sale day and follow us for more updates. Until next time.